Hi, everybody. I need to send Kelly an invitation, right? Beauties, how do I ask Kelly to join? I thought I knew how to do this. I don't. Thank you. I appreciate the compliments. How do I... Okay. I'm sending Kelly something. Okay, Kelly needs to join and then request. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Trying to figure it out. Can send using the arrow at the bottom. I did that. And I sent her my live. And now I just wrote her a little message saying, can you come request to join me? So let's see. She should be here soon. Or next to the heart, there's an arrow, and you can send the request to Kelly. Okay, I've done it. I've done it. Let's see. Just waiting for her to join us. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Okay. Kelly, you just have to request, someone says. Okay. She might not know how to request. Kelly Rutherford, Stan M., you've been so helpful to us so many times. Will you send her a message and kind of walk her through how to request to join? She might not know how. Thank you so much. Oh, she's trying to request me. Said she was here already trying to request me. So now, how do I do it? She's here? I mean, yeah. How can I? The technical problems, guys. It's a block of mine, obviously. I haven't seen anything pop up. Oh, I'm accepting. Yay!
I mean, this is going to be our entire Instagram live. Every day, we are going to show people how completely... I mean, this is it. This is the live today.
Thanks so much for sticking with us as we try
to
learn
I love it. I love this. Because at least maybe you'll be able to save it. And if you do, you have to tell me how you did it, okay?
Okay.
Because even before, when I ended, it does not give me an arrow, but I don't know why. But I'm probably doing something wrong. But yeah.
Maybe it's in the settings. I don't know.
Yeah. So I requested, and then I think you have to go on that circle and accept the request.
I did. And the first time I went in the circle and accepted the request, nothing appeared. So I don't know. But you know what else, Kelly? This is something I was thinking of. Everybody and their mother right now is doing Instagram lives. I have never gotten so many notifications for Instagram lives from the people that I love. So maybe Instagram is just having a rough, you know?
Like, too.
This is hard. We've never had quite so much traction in our lives. We're just trying to get along. Yeah.
I just did a Zoom for the first time, like a talk on Zoom. So it was fun. I mean, and the whole night before I was just, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? And what if these people are waiting and I can't get, it's just new. It's for some of us. I mean, obviously if you work in an office and you've used it every day or, conference calling, it's different, but.
Yeah. But how was your talk? So you talked about resiliency, right?
Yeah, I talked about resilience, and it was cool because you just it's always new what happens, you know, just like this. But it was a lot about just how resiliency has sort of changed from when we were young too. You know, it's obviously the ability to bounce back and to, you know, how we respond to certain situations and how we can recover sometimes, you know, how quickly. But it's also about now more than ever about being present. Resilience is so much about the ability to be present so that you can act within the moment instead of knowing so far in advance what's going to happen. Resiliency is being so much more like you started saying at the beginning of this live. Yeah. It really is about about trusting yourself and getting quiet and listening to yourself, you know, more than ever. It's a great part of it. Agreed. And a lot of people asked about the difference. Would be interested to hear what you say about this, the difference between, you know, how to find your life purpose. And afterwards, what came to me was that, you know, what our chosen profession is very different than sometimes what our life purpose is. I was thinking of even just like Carly Kloss, who's this, you know, obviously incredible, beautiful model, but sort of it seems like her life purpose is this coding for girls, you know, and educating women. So we don't have to have it all be, it's like saying soulmates, you know. I think we have many soulmates in our lives. Just, you know, if we choose to partner up with them and shack up and live with them is a whole nother question. But you know what I'm saying? I think we have many soulmates in our lives. Agreed. You know, that we've reconnected with or we're connecting with that really shift us and are here for, you know, we're here for each other. But that purpose, life purpose, does not always have to be connected to our chosen profession, which I didn't really thought about.
And I think even just to go a step further from that, I think often our chosen profession shows up so that there's something that can support us in order to do that purpose. Like we'll take again the example of Carly Kloss because she's a great example. Yeah. Her job is to be this incredible model, but it also has gotten her an incredible following. And now she can reach so many more people with that message about girls coding and women in STEM and all of these important topics because she has such a following. Whereas if she had decided to, you know, like me, go get 5 million master's degrees.
Beautiful. It's beautiful though.
It's beautiful and I love it, but it doesn't teach you how to develop a following. It doesn't teach you how to, you know, communicate with each individual exactly where they are in the moment, which is something that's so beautiful about your profession too, is that you're also really great at that. And so, you know, we all have a purpose, of course, but sometimes our profession happens to us so that we're able to fulfill that purpose in a deeper way.
And a bigger platform, like you said.
Bigger platform.
That's great. Yeah. But that's what we're all here for each other. You know, we all can help each other. Right. In that way, you know, from whatever profession we are, we can, help each other with our bigger purpose. That's the whole point, right? I mean,
right. That's what we're doing here. Yeah. Walking each other home.
Oh my gosh.
So what else? What were some other themes that came up in the resiliency talk?
How to find balance. You know, how to deal with a breakup, how to deal with, you know, in terms of all these things at jobs, and, you know, it's all kind of the same. What comes back always is how we've all been taught to be concerned with how we're being seen. And if you shift that perspective to how you're seeing, it's definitely more empowering. And just sort of how do you shift your perspective on things so that you're empowered versus not feeling. And that's a lot of resilience, is being able to take situations even just like this one and focus on what we're getting from it, how this can be a good thing, even though just like, even though when you get, let's say, fired from a job, it appears to be awful for a moment, right? It's like, what's that quote? One door opens, the other closes, but the hallway's dark. It's like,
right.
You know the other door is going to open, but you're in like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
So it's the ability to sort of bounce, you know, be able to navigate these things and trust our own, and, you know, really being able to come from a place of seeing and showing up saying, is this the person I want to be with? Is this the job I want? And taking that power back for yourself. What experience do I want to have through this that we're going through right now? What kind of experience do I want to have? You have the choice of deciding that.
Yeah.
You know, am I going to find all the bad things wrong with my husband or wife or kids or partner? Or am I going to start getting up in the morning and saying, I'm not going to look at those things. I'm going to find things to appreciate right now. And even if it's just hard to do in the moment, because you don't usually do that, find, you know, if their eyes are blue, their hair looks good, you know, the t-shirt, whatever you can find.
They wake up without morning breath.
And just keep saying that if you have to. Whatever you can find that is, a lot of it came from that, which was, it really is really, how do you empower yourself? How do you, you know, yes, bounce back, but in doing so, how do you empower yourself to do so? Right. So it's one thing to say, I'm going to stand up, but then what's my attitude when I stand up from being knocked down or that feeling of that? And your attitude and your belief systems really help you navigate. How can I turn this? How can I shift this into something empowering? With our kids too. You know, I always say, as an example, I talked about how whenever I worry, because it's a normal thing, right? As a mom, you kind of have this, like, it's not worry, it's concern. Okay, you want to take care of. It's not even worry, it's this desire to keep your children safe and take care of them, and you know, have them be loved and all of that and safe. So, you know, how do I turn those emotions that are so strong that come up into empowering my kids so that they're strong, so that I'm not weakening them by worry? Because you can weaken somebody by worrying about, oh, I'm so sorry, or I'm so worried, or oh, that's such a sad situation. Oh, I'm so, you know, that's disempowering energy. Whereas if you go, it makes it worse. And when we're going through something, it's almost worse when somebody says, oh, you know, I'm so sorry for them, or so, you know, instead say, you know, I think when people say I'm going through a divorce, I say, that's great. That's so great. Yeah. Or when people say, I got fired from my job, that's so exciting. That is so exciting, you know, because it shifts your energy and what you're attracting to.
It does.
But it's learned. We're learned to be like, you know, it's learned behavior.
And it's also politeness too. Like I also say to people, if they tell me that they lost their job, I'm like, that's amazing. You've always wanted to write this book. Now's your moment. You know, I think of whatever they've always been talking about that they haven't had time to do. And the people that I associate with know this about me, and so they don't get offended. But if it's someone that you just met and they say, I just lost my job, you're like, oh, that's great. They're like, a little empathy, please. You know? And so it's politeness. It's the way it's another thing to add to the list of the way we've learned things should go. And, you know, you should say, oh, I'm so sorry. But it does kind of make people feel worse. I agree with you. I think it's nicer to say, here's your chance to find the person you really want to be with, or here's your chance to find a better job that's right for you, that has more of the things on your list that you want to manifest.
I tell my mom, don't worry about me. Believe in me.
Right.
No?
Yeah.
Instead of going, oh, that's so horrible. You know, instead, I want, you know, what you want is somebody to say, oh, but I believe in you. You're going to be fine. Yeah. I know you. You are resilient, and you know,
the most resilient.
This is meant to be, you know, that's what you want to hear. So I do think about what I want to hear, which is somebody to say, well, this is great. You're going through this because this, and this, instead of, oh, that must be so, you know, you find when you go through a tough time, everyone wants to talk about how tough, you know, oh, and tell me about it, and tell me more about it. And then you're in it, you're swimming in it, and you're like, oh my gosh. And you come home and think, I don't ever want to talk about this again, because it just drains my energy. Whereas if you take your attention away from the problem, not that you're denying that it exists or that something's happened or anything. You're not,
and
you
you're
know, in
still
denial.
Processing your feelings.
You're choosing to say, okay,
yeah,
this may be what's happening, but the choice that I have is to how I'm going to deal with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
For sure.
Let me give an example. Oh, hi, puppies. So when the coronavirus pandemic hit, I had a lot of, so I was doing a lot of healing sessions with people in person in New York and LA, and my business was just starting to expand into people in LA, and I was excited to have, okay, we'll wait for the pups. Things always happen for a reason. I agree with you guys. I was just telling some of the people write the best comments on our lives. Have you noticed? I know.
They're so smart.
They're so smart. Yeah. I was really upset when the coronavirus pandemic hit because I had all of these wonderful clients booked in LA for my next trip out there, and I'm trying to move to LA gradually. And so moving my business there first is the first step. And I'll keep coming back to New York always because that's home. But, you know, having more things booked out there is great. And then the pandemic hit, and I, you know, felt my feelings and was like, okay, this really sucks. It's hard to cancel a bunch of speaking events. It's hard to cancel all of these different people that I was so looking forward to meeting in person. But I've been wanting to start a podcast for so long. My guides have been telling me to start a podcast for at least 6 months. And I never do it because of the technology. I'm just so intimidated by the technology. Every time I record a set of tones to put up on my website for people to purchase, it's like such a big thing. Like trying to edit it takes me so long, and I just get so frustrated by the tech. But because of the pandemic, I've had the time and the space to channel this podcast, which is so cool. It's like little 15-minute episodes. I'm not doing guests because that feels overwhelming, trying to book with people's schedules and things. Right, so it's just a 15-minute activation or process or healing thing that the guides have sent through.
Great.
And it's going to be weekly. And I'm so excited because, I would have never had time to do that beforehand with all the travel. And B, this has opened up a whole new world of freelancers who are able to edit things. How cool is that? I don't have to try to edit. I don't have to try to be technical. It's not my gift.
To do everything.
Channeling. Yeah.
Yep.
So I found
there's a great girl, Lisa O'Connor, A Radiant Life on Instagram. She has a podcast. I'll connect the two of you, but she's really good with all that tech stuff. So she's somebody that might be fun to talk to because she does it at home on her computer too. I mean, she may, I mean, I'm terrified myself of just, so I'm not saying, not terrified. I'm just a little like, but she knows all that stuff and she's so good at it. So she's somebody, if you just want to get a little taste of, okay, what would that be like if I chose to do that? She's somebody that's really good to talk to. She's great.
Thank you. Okay.
Good. That's so good that you're doing that. So tell me about the tones. When can we download them?
So you can go right now, everybody, to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and look up Light Beings and Way Showers. So Light Beings is 2 separate words. And if you type that into the search bar, it will come up. The trailer is up. And then the first episode gets released tomorrow morning.
Oh, this is so exciting. We're like the first to know about this.
You are the first. I haven't even started promoting it yet. I wanted to announce it here with you.
Okay, so you're announcing it now, and then we are going to, you're going to post it after, and I can repost something, right? Where to go?
Yes. It's called Light Beings and Way Showers. And it will just be 15-minute episodes, 15 or 20-minute episodes with a meditation, an activation, a process, some channeled information from the guides. And so the first episode is channeled healing from the Council of Light and Archangel Michael, just to bring us back into a state of self-love. It's like a good introductory episode too, because they explain what light beings means to them. And I think it would be all of these beautiful people who are with us today.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I've gone through those meditations with you. They're incredible. Incredible.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So it's going to be this opportunity to do this, which I wouldn't have done if I were traveling back and forth all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? It is amazing the things that are kind of coming out of all of this.
It is.
And and the thing is, we're all in it together. You know, it's not like with you're having to just do this and change. It's like we're all in it. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with my industry. I have so many friends that are in the beauty industry or have a retail store. You know, so many people.
Are you hearing anything about what's going to happen in your industry with this?
No idea. Oh, he tried to get her bone.
Uh-oh.
She likes to get all of them and put them on the sofa, all of them. She collects all the bones. She can't have it. And then she just goes to sleep. And he just sits there. You're going to take all the bones in that. And then if he tries to get one, she's like, no, it's mine. I mean, it's like, here he comes. He's like, I'm going to go sit by mom because she'll protect me.
Oh, cute.
So cute.
They're
so funny. Entertainment, constant entertainment. Thank God.
Right.
I've got, you know. But yes, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen but you know, I'm doing this. I would have never done this. You know, there's other avenues in which I just did again a talk through Never Stop Learning. Because they're now kind of doing a speaking thing where you can hire someone to come speak and do a Zoom. So it may not be in person, but it's still the same thing, but you know, a collective people, and they're great. So they're sort of hiring speakers and to do things like that, to speak on different things. So yeah, we'll all have to just day by day sort it out and go with the changes and hear more and more about what to do. You know, online, obviously, everything's kind of, I guess, moving more and more online.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I was talking to the lady at my bank today. She said they never thought we could all work from home, and we're all working from home.
Yeah. I mean, major advancements have been made in the legal field. My sister's a lawyer in the state of New York.
Oh, really?
And did you know that the state of New York did not allow for notarization of anything other than doing it in person, which is just insane. Like, how do we not have an electronic process for notarization yet? That's wild. So she had to go take a course about how to notarize things online because she's a lawyer. She has to notarize things all day, you know?
Right.
And now the state of New York has online notarization. So new, amazing things are coming out of this. That's how we have to look at it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. So interesting.
Yeah.
So interesting how it's all going to be. Well, I guess we'll all be home more.
I mean, I love being home. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
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 Being home is pretty great. Lots of books, too. Are you reading?
I think if you're... You know, I haven't. It's interesting because I was listening to this girl, Elizabeth April, I think is her name, Elizabeth something. And she was saying that she, you know, is connected with the Palladians and all of that. And is that the Council of Light?
No, it's a different collective.
Is it different?
There are many Palladians within the Council of Light. So the Council of Light is made up of 12 different star system beings. And so the Palladians are a part of it, but so are the Syrians and the Lyrians and all of these other different star groups.
Okay, good. Thank you for explaining that, because I wasn't sure if they were the Council of Light or they were just a part of the council. Okay, so they're a part. They're on the council. They're on the board.
Yes, they're on board. Yeah.
They attend the board meetings. Okay.
They do. Yeah.
But she was saying that she was told not to be reading and watching everything, to sort of step back from reading and watching. And so, and it's interesting because I said to my boyfriend about a year ago, I said, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't turn on the TV. I don't read anymore. I'm not going to movies. I mean, I'm on Instagram and I'm visual, like, you know, more visual. And of course I get news. You get news anyway. You can't not get news.
Right, you can't avoid it.
Living in New York, you walk by the newsstand or you're waiting for your coffee. It's all right there. You're just like, okay, you know, you get enough intel that you know what's going on, or people at dinner are talking about it, or, you know, like, again, Instagram. Yeah. So I got enough information, but I just really started stepping back from engaging in that way. And now I think it's because I was learning to listen to the messages that were coming through and learning to listen to myself more and get more quiet. And it's really a way to do that. You kind of have to step away from, not that you can't read a book or you can't, you know what I mean, do that. I'm just saying it really, for me, I think it was part of my ability to listen more and more to my own thoughts and the messages that were coming through, you know, when I'm meditating or just throughout the day. So I think that's what it was. And so when she said that, I felt a little more comforted, because I thought, is it just me? Is it my attention span that I don't want to go see a bunch of movies anymore, and I don't want to, you know, I'm not out there engaging in the way that I used to engage, you know, and I've never been a huge, you know, I don't ever just sit down and watch TV all day. You know, I'll sit and watch a movie or a TV show that a friend's doing or catch up. And mostly because you're just busy with life and kids and traveling, and, you know, you watch a movie on the plane or something. But I really had a thing about it. And my boyfriend was saying, yeah, it's funny because even the movies you're choosing to see now, you're very selective about the energy in which you're going, because I wouldn't go see certain movies. I said, go with your friends to see that when it's a bit dark or a bit this or a bit that. And I, you know, I'll go see Emma or Little Women or
I love Emma and Little Women.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of movie was kind of okay energetically. It was like, okay, this is my speed right now, because anything else felt very intense. And certainly there's a generation of kids that have been raised on very, very violent. I mean, look at the video games and the movies, and it's, you know, it's interesting how that stays with us and how that's sort of promoted to a certain age group in our society. There was something that someone sent around about that, and how, you know, a lot of these things that we watch are really programming us as well. So we have to be careful what the programming is. And I think a lot of what I was feeling too was just stepping away and out of the programming that is put in place. So it's interesting. Not all of it is, but there's, you know, obviously everyone has their own agenda on whatever it is, you know, or their own take on things in which they're involved in. So it was interesting to do that, and I have found it really great. You know, at first I just was worried, like, is this me? Is this weird that I'm not the only, you know, I'm not engaging in that way? So it was a confirmation to hear that from sort of this council of light, they were saying it's a good thing to step away.
And I think there are phases also. Like, this is a phase where your guides are telling you to step away and to listen to the messages that come from within, and the messages from them too. And I think collectively that's what's happening. That's why we're all staying home. People are having more time to heal. I have this course called the Beacon Series, which I talked about the last time we did the live. And people are really loving it because they have time to be home and to do all this healing work, which is very intense. And they might not have the energy to do that level of healing work while they're running back and forth to work every day. And so that's also a great part of it too. But I think there are phases. So right now is a healing phase and a listening from within phase. And for you, and maybe for some other people, not a books and TV kind of time, because you're listening hard, you know? And then there will be a point where you've listened hard for a while and you are like in the zone and can listen and also do other things too. And then they'll leave you other things.
Exactly. Well, it's good because we're all, go ahead.
I really couldn't read, like when we first, so, you know, I'm just telling everybody else, I'm from New York, and I came up here to Vermont. Like, it was a planned trip to come to Vermont. We just ended up coming a week early because of the coronavirus pandemic, and we wanted to make sure we could get here. But when we first got here, I really couldn't read or watch TV at all. All I could do was sit outside and channel and take walks. And sometimes I would literally just sit here on the couch and stare off into space and wait for messages. And it was beautiful. That was an amazing time. And then I found, once I had, you know, my guides had been sending me these messages of, you need to start this podcast for so long. And I just kind of sloughed them off because I felt like I was just too busy to listen. Too busy, guys. You have way more wisdom than me, but I'm just too busy.
I'm being my human self here. Just leave me alone.
I'm being my human self. Egomaniacal.
I love it.
So I finally dropped that and said, okay, I'm going to do this podcast. And I started recording, and I have like way too much recorded right now, and I definitely recognize that. But I record as I get the processes, you know, and as I get the activations and healings for people. So I recorded a bunch, and then when I was done, it was like, you probably feel this way too when you're done with a movie or a show. It's like this, you know.
Yeah, now I can go play a little. I'm going to go read a book, or I'm going to, I felt like it's a reward for kind of, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so after that, I just took a deep breath, and then I was able to read a book again. It was so nice.
What did you read?
It's beautiful. I'm in the middle of it. So it's called Hild, H-I-L-D. Can't remember the name of the author. But it's back in the time of kingdoms and multiple different kingdoms in Europe. And so there's one king, and he has a royal daughter. I believe she's a princess. And she is prophetic. She has prophetic dreams. She's able to prophesize things that will happen in the future. And she's very spiritually gifted. She hasn't recognized it yet from the place where I am in the book, but you can, it's a 500-page book. I'm like 100 pages in. You can tell where the book is going. Like, she's going to accept her gift in life. It's so good.
So good. Well, even what you're choosing to read, though, is aligned with what you're about. Yeah. So it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not reading like a shoot 'em up. I can't do violence at all.
You didn't go buy a PlayStation? Yeah, you're not doing it. No Assassin's Creed for you? GTA?
No. Although I have to say, the VR headsets are very cool. Have you done one of those? Like,
I try to play with my son.
Yeah?
Oh, you're talking about, what are you talking about?
Like, you can go underwater, and it's like I'm a diver, so it's amazing.
Oh, like you were talking about virtual reality?
Mm-hmm.
Virtual reality, yeah. Oh, for sure. No, there's cool stuff. There's cool technology for sure. There's so many fun things. I tried to play with my son one of those games. It was impossible. Yeah. I kept saying, how do I get my head up? Like, it's like, because there's so many different controls. I thought this has got to be good for them to learn, just in terms of
dexterity.
You know, really. Because I was like, wait, I can't even keep up. Where'd you go? I mean, just trying to even find him. Like, trying to just get my controls to like find out where I can see where I'm going. Yeah. And he'd have like taken over a full city by then, or taken over a full, he would have been, I feel like, he's like, Mom, I'm over here. I'm like, where? Like, and so he's like, play with me. I'm like, if I play with you, I just feel complete. I can't keep up. He needs, his friends who are just as quick and savvy as he is, but it's fun. We all have these different, his generation, but, oh, so good. Well, this book sounds good. Hild? H-I-L-D. Hild.
Yes. I can send it to you after. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a documentary about that. Speaking of Hilda of Klimt, I think it's Hilda of Klimt. She had that exhibition at the Guggenheim, the artist that did all these paintings in like the 20s.
Okay.
And they just let them out, sort of. She said, please hold on to these for like this number of years. And she saw exactly where they would be exhibited. She knew that they were way ahead of their time, and that in her time they would not have accepted. And she was super spiritual, super prophetic. And so they just did a documentary on her, and I'd love to see that.
Dying to see it.
That would be a good one. I think you'd like that too. So that's one that I'd like to see, because it is kind of in the subject of, what we love.
Intuitive gifts. Yeah.
Yes.
What is it called?
Yeah, it's on the phone. I have to look it up. Her name is, I think, Hilda of Klimt, K-L-I-M-T.
Yeah.
And she was an artist, so you can just kind of Google Hilda of Klimt. She's on Instagram too. But there's a new documentary about her life, which I'm really excited. That would be fascinating. Her work is beyond
beautiful,
incredible. Wait, I'll show you. I have one of her things, I think, from the exhibition here. Do I have it? Here we go. I thought her work was like this. That's it.
Oh, it's really cool. Yeah.
It's super.
Ooh,
and they're huge, like full walls. That one in the middle I love, obviously. Oh. But I got the cards. But yeah, so that's how you spell it. Hilma. Hilma made me think of what you, Hilma of Klimt. Paintings for the Future is what she called them.
Cool. That sounds great.
She created radically abstract paintings in 1906. Bold, colorful, untethered from a recognizable reference of the physical. It's from untethered from any recognizable reference to the physical world. And in her time, you know,
that was way out there.
The group of monumental paintings depicts the human life cycle through representational and abstract forms, combining imagery drawn from nature, geometry, language, and the artist's own invented symbolism. Beautiful. It's really beautiful.
That's awesome.
But she's somebody. It'd be fun. We've got Hild. What is the book?
Hild. H-I-L-D.
Hild. So we got Hild and Hilma. Okay.
Hilma. Okay. Good H name.
Good. Yeah. Really cool. Oh, well, I love you so much.
I love you too. It's so good to see your face.
You too. I'm glad we figured this out. They can watch.
I will try downloading and see if I get the arrow. And then if I get it, we'll work on your arrow.
Okay. And then I'll figure out how to upload it after that. And I got to figure out if you send it to me, how to do it.
Okay.
But maybe does it automatically, if you save it and send it to me, I wonder if it automatically goes on my live, or I think what happens is I can save it into my photos probably, and then I can post it. Okay.
You can save it into your photos and then post it on your IGTV, but it didn't work for me last time. But again, that's me with my technology.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Well, hopefully everyone came over here and it has been watching anyway.
Yeah.
In the moment.
In the moment. Staying in the moment.
In the moment. All right. Well, let's do this again soon.
Sounds good.
And send me the stuff about what starts tomorrow. Yeah.
The podcast. Yes.
The podcast.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
Thanks.
So cool. All right. I love you.
I love you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks. You too. I'll talk to you soon.